Good fucking morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Proof of Person. Happy fucking Tuesday. Today we have George with us, founder of Bolt 777, as our main guest for episode 30. George, thank you for taking the time. So excited for today's show to finally happening. How are you doing today?
Yeah, good. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you guys are around the world. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. Hope everyone listening is too.
So excited, man. So much to talk about. I mean, we've talked about this for a bit of time now. So excited that it's finally happening. A million things to talk about. You guys are fucking cooking like shipping every other day. So we'll try to get through everything, at least the most important things through the hour. And yeah, well, anyone that has questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And for sure. We'll get through everything.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, episode 30 on the 30th, man. Happy holidays, New Year's, couple of days. Like, how's everything on your side? Are you at home? Are you with family?
Traveling right now. So I'm at my great aunt's house, so like my grandfather's sister, in just up north in the UK. So normally I'm based sort of London area, so it's about 3 hours from home. So I'm just on a really poor quality laptop at the moment, so I'm sorry for the video quality, but yeah, it's been good Christmas period for me, good holiday season for whatever you guys celebrate out there. So yeah, excited to spend a lot of time with family, but it's like balancing, obviously trying to get this project off the ground with spending time with family is a little difficult, and much to my wife's dismay at the moment, but she'll be happy in the end, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, as crypto and blockchain in general, it's a little bit transitioned more into corporate and less degen. Like a lot of people are taking the holidays off in a way or disconnecting. So it's a feels a little bit slower for in general, but the degens and the active ones are still around. So we're still online and building. So that's the main thing. For anyone that doesn't know you or needs a refresher, do you mind doing a quick TLDR before we dive into everything?
Yeah, of course. So I'm George, the founder of Volt. Some of you guys may or may not know me from some other different projects I've been involved with, mainly in the back scene, behind the scenes, I should say, doing operations and stuff like that. But this is my first project I founded alongside my business partner, Ryan. We've been working on Volt for a long, well, it feels like forever, but it's around 14, it'd be 15 months now in January coming up. So a very, very long time in the making. And I'm 32 from the UK. I have a wife and a kid. Been in crypto since, as a holder, 2018, around July time. A friend hard shielded Ethereum to me. I hadn't really delved much into it beyond just buying a couple of little bits and pieces at the time. But yeah, Ethereum was the thing that got me in love with the crypto space.
Yeah, and NFTs as well, right? Like you remember which one was your first NFT? We always remember our first, but hopefully
I honestly I can honestly say that I have never bought an NFT.
What? No,
I've had a lot sent to my wallets.
No way.
So I do hold a couple, but I have never bought an NFT. No.
That's
for sure.
I don't think I've ever heard.
I genuinely, I'm sorry to disappoint some of the big NFT fans out there.
That's wild, man. Wait, so what, like you joined with Ethereum, so what were you doing back then?
So from my background myself, from like the real world, I guess, as opposed to crypto, prior to the crypto becoming my real world, I worked in traditional finance. So from 19, I worked at a bank, spent 7 years doing various different roles in risk, finance, private banking. And then I got a job working in an operation, I won't name them, but a UK gambling company over here, where I did pricing and strategy. So that was mainly on the sports book. So looking at some of our whales and seeing if they were too profitable, which is ironic. What we're building now, we wouldn't have any measures like that in place. But yeah, that was my start in the gambling space. So spent about 4.5 years there before moving into Web3 full-time then.
Great story. Yeah, so I mean, you've always been involved in this industry, and it was just a matter of time before you build your own.
I think it was kind of the natural progression from being in like a TradFi background to coming across to crypto, and then a traditional gambling background coming across to crypto gambling. So it kind of all married up nicely, really. And I guess we'll get into the stories of sort of how Vault came around and why that was built itself. But for me, it certainly made sense, and I had a lot of experience I could offer to something like this. So I thought, why not do it myself, right?
Yeah, no, I love it. I think it was I'm sure it was a combination of things or problems or things that were missing in your past experiences. But like, do you remember when was the first time that you thought like this should be different? I can make something better, and how the beginning of Bolt started as an idea and then to everything that it is today?
Yeah, there isn't like a particularly glamorous founding to the project, but essentially I was a little bit of a gambling degen, so spent a lot of times on some of these big casino names that you'll be familiar with, playing a lot of blackjack and roulette. When I say playing a lot, not particularly big stakes, but enough that it would be significant if funds were withheld from me, for example. And Ryan and I think it was maybe February, March 24. We had depoted 10K between us, so 5K, and we were running it up on blackjack. We got to around 47, 48K.
Sheesh.
And then, which is amazing. And it was, for me at the time, like crazy to think of that sort of money, really, just from gambling at least.
Yeah.
Got to the stage where we wanted to try and get to 50, right? But that's when everything sort of normally goes wrong if you set like a gambling target. And so I managed to convince Ryan that we should stop. I think we ran it back down to about 43.5. So we requested withdrawal. Everything seemed to be going fine. And then we had like extra checks put on our account requiring KYC. Obviously, both of us being based in the UK at the time, they used that against us with their TOS to basically restrict our withdrawal, and fuck us for our money, basically. But they did give our initial depot back of 10K. They didn't give the other 40 or 50K they probably had over 2 years off of me. But they did give that 10K depot back, but they withheld about 30 odd thousand from us. So that was a bit of a tough pill to swallow. And that would probably be the very start then of when I started to think about, well, is there a way that this could be done differently, right? So that was probably the initial thought process of, or what triggered the baby being born. But yeah, that was certainly a sore one, but also probably one of the best things that's ever happened in terms of triggering this whole process now with Vault.
Don't die on us, man.
Yeah.
It's just about to be new, you see.
I'll make it to 2026, I'm sure. But
Okay, cool.
for anyone that's based in the UK, you'll know how much flu and virus is going around right now.
Yeah,
and,
everyone's
what
sick,
seems to
man.
have-
Especially in the UK.
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
two friends
yeah.
that are just like dead in bed.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
I don't have that luxury, unfortunately, but yeah, I am a little sick, so my apologies.
No, okay. Yeah, I understand those experiences when like it's really like a really horrible experience when that's happening. But looking back, you're so glad it did. Like this, that they ever asked you for the KYC and for all these requirements to withdraw the money that you hardly earn or luckily or skillfully, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's not just crypto gambling. You see it in traditional gambling. You see it in, companies that you're just purchasing products with, like term to service, and it's very, very rare that you'll see an example that a company or a business's terms of service will go in the favor of a customer.
Yeah,
it's normally used to hide behind when they don't want to do something that they don't like. 99% of the time, they'll never reference their TOS. But as soon as it's favorable for them, then all of a sudden, this was our terms. This is this. It's frustrating for sure.
You're the best customer until you start winning. You're like, all right, like we don't want you here anymore. Until you start winning against the house. Oh man,
exactly.
It shouldn't be like that. And
no, unfortunately, that tends to be the case, though.
Yeah, and also that transition already to Bolt. That's also why you built from the beginning and emphasize so much on transparency, right? On a bulletproof trust first system, right?
So initially, Vault was just to be on-chain gambling, non-custodial, non-KYC. That was the three core initial pillars, I guess, of Vault. It was just to prevent what happened to Ryan and I happening to anyone else, giving people a platform where I guess it sounds ironic when you talk about fairness and gambling in the same sentence, but basically making gambling as fair as it could possibly be, right? So with the model of gambling itself, eventually, if you play enough, then the house will win, right? But in terms of giving the highest RTP that we could possibly have while still being, operationally profitable, not necessarily massively profitable, but just so we're not, giving our money away effectively. But also then never having the option to say, no, we don't want to pay that person, or no, that person can't play with us. In terms of like geo-restricting and stuff like that, that's just on a legal side of things that has to happen. But in terms of if someone bets with us, if they've won, their money goes back to them. We don't take custody of anyone's funds. So you bet, you win, it's back in your wallet. Whether you're using hot wallet, cold wallet, whatever it is you may be using or connected to the site, it will come back to you. If you win that blackjack hand, if you win the dice roll, if you win, whatever, we'll have a full casino catalog, whatever you're playing with us. If your bet wins, you'll have your funds back.
Yeah, we'll get into RTP and all the details.
Yeah, of course.
We have the website here displaying in the share Yes.
Yeah, this is our landing page. So if this is actually going under a massive revamp at the moment, but if you, I'm not sure how much you want to show on stream actually.
Yeah, on all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go through it.
Well, if you click play now, top right, that's what we're most proud of at the moment. So this is like the working casino right now. This is live on mainnet.
Did you change it versus a few weeks ago? I thought.
Yeah. There's been some small changes.
I mean, it's pretty, like the base is still very similar, but I think it's way better. Like it's so clean, man. Like,
yeah. So we've been very lucky recently to take on a UI UX designer and also GFX artist full time with us.
Nice.
Shout out Luca if you're listening. He is amazing. If you've seen on our socials too, I guess we've upped the levels in terms of graphics and banners and things like that. So yeah, Luca's been a great addition to the team. So yeah, shout out you, brother.
Shout. Yeah. Do you want to go through I mean, you wanted to go to the play now this
yeah, sure. So at the moment, that's our offering currently. So with Vault, we own all of our games. So all of our smart contracts are built by us, owned by us, hosted by us, of course. The only thing that we do is then outsource our VRF. Obviously, we can talk about Chainlink in a bit in terms of greater detail, but we own the games, we build the games, we'll never use providers or anything like that. It will simply be us from start to finish in terms of making the games until we allow users to make and host their own games, which is the end goal. Essentially, we now want to have a fully decentralized ecosystem where people can not only be a user of ours, like a gambler, a player. Obviously, that's the fundamental part of a casino, but also we want people to be able to become the house. If you're not into gambling, if you're somebody that listens to Blue quite a lot and you think this is not for me, this is all about gambling, but that's definitely not the case. Once the full ecosystem goes live, you will be able to come on board with us and just be a partial owner, just as I would be, simply by staking the bankroll. So if you want to earn from this platform, not in risk, it's still risky, right? Because you're exposing yourself to house profit and loss, but it's certainly less risky than gambling in itself. So there's so many different avenues where people can get involved with this, and it's something that I'm very proud of, obviously. But yeah, so this is slots. This is quite popular at the moment on the site. Rock, paper, scissors is one that we don't really see very often. So we played around. That does need a bit of a graphical update, but yeah, everything works. Everything's live on chain. This is all real money that you'll see gambling at the moment. Someone seems to be running some micro stakes at the moment, but yeah, that's our offering. The next edition will be roulette very, very shortly in the new year.
Nice. Yeah, you have the live bets, you have your own games, you have all this transparency. Why did you choose Arbitrum over other chains? I don't know if you mentioned that.
Yeah, I think we get that question quite a lot in terms of why Arb. So two main things for us in terms of why use Arbitrum, why not, ETH Layer 1, for example, or some of the other hot chains right now. But with Arbitrum, it's probably the fastest TX speed at the moment at the lowest cost that you can get on the market. And that was important for us in terms of allowing people to play micro stakes. So when you're interacting with a smart contract and then also Chainlink's VRF system, we didn't want TX fees to be huge and then effectively outprice people that want to play that $1 or $2 spin. They won't be able to do that on chain. If we had gone with somebody else, some of these layer 1s, layer 2s that are out there, they would have been priced out. It would only be worth you betting with us if you were betting maybe $10 minimum then, in terms of the fees side of things. So yeah, just speed of TX and cost of transaction as well.
Do you, from all these users that you have right now for the 3,500 wallets, do you see most of the people doing those smaller bets, or is it more average, like 100 to?
It's quite a mixture. So I think the largest bet that we've taken on the platform to date, I think we've been up for 2 weeks off the top of my head. I can't remember. It's 1 or 2 weeks. I'm sure
mainnet.
my PA will be spamming me in my DMs now to tell me. But yeah, it's been 2 weeks. We've handled. So those stats that you're looking at there are from the testnet performance.
Yes.
But mainnet, I think we've done about 6 mil in volume. Off the top of my head, the largest bet that we've taken was around 27k. But yeah, I'd say I think if we can obviously do it again at another time, but I can share some stats with people in the chat and things like that. Or if anyone from the team is here, please feel free to do that. But yeah, so average bet size is all again viewable. Obviously at the moment you haven't got a wallet connected, so it won't show you, but on the app itself, you can see average bets. You can see the current bankroll, even like it's all completely on-chain transparency. So yeah, yeah, you do get a lot of micro stakes, but I think the average bet is around like $60-70 off the top of my head, something like that. So nice. That's pretty significant, I would say. It's more than I would normally bet in terms of prior to getting into the crypto space, that's for sure. I wouldn't have been able to afford it, really.
What are people playing most at the moment? Or like, have you seen any
Dice
games
seems
like
to be the most popular? Dice, yeah. I think where you've got like scalable odds, it's like the more customizable, right? So with coin flip, it's a 50-50. With slots, you've got a certain pay table. With dice, you can scale it from as small as like rolling lower than 0.5x, which I think gives you like a 5k return off the top of my head, 5,000x. But you could also go like roll below 95, so you've pretty much got a 1 in 20 chance of losing. So you're just having small increases every time. People try to run it up that. There's all different strategies that people will run, and people have got favorite numbers that they choose. Rolling higher than a 27, for example. All different things, right?
I want to touch as well on well, you mentioned it already a couple of times earlier on the fairness. How do you guys decide on the RTP? I've noticed that you have one, if not the highest, benefit in the user into if they win, they get the maximum. While you guys keep peace to operate and then
exactly
the house and everything else, right?
You're pretty much exactly right there. In terms of how we actually came to RTP figures in the first place was how high could we push it while still having an operatable model. And we are there, and at times perhaps we've looked at some of the RTP on the platform and thought, have we gone a bit too far? Genuinely,
donate like half of the money, more of the money.
I'm not even joking. For the first 3 days when we went live on mainnet, there was like 102% RTP to players across the whole platform. So I thought it was over.
On day 3 as well.
Yeah, that was concerning for sure. And like Jojo, our lead dev, had like countless messages of me like, bro, are we sure that this code's right? Are these numbers correct? He's like, yeah, don't worry, it's checked and double checked. And
the testnet is all chill and fun, but then in the mainnet, like, all right, wait.
yeah, exactly. Right. When I'm just buying testnet ETH on Sepolio for people to use and mint our tokens with, that not real money, there's a lot less stress involved to that very first time that we're accepting real money bets, and RTP showing at like 100+%, which means you're operating at a loss, obviously. But yeah, it's to answer that question without sort of going all around the houses again is effectively we wanted to make the fairest platform that we could do, not just in terms of transparency, but in terms of return, right? I think what we've seen historically it is getting better slowly, but it's still not as good as it should be right now. But we've seen other platforms claim to have certain RTPs. I'm not going to sit here and slander anyone in particular, but there are platforms and guys in the chat and listeners out there will probably be familiar with those that I am talking about that claim to have certain RTPs, but it's not provable anywhere. Unless you run these 10 billion simulations that they'll show you how to do it. But if that's then offline on their back end, nobody can verify that. Just because they say this is, the result of their sim or the result of their RTP over 10 trillion bets or whatever they sim them at, it doesn't mean that it's true. I've always been someone that questions just because we could put anything on this website. We could put anything on X or other social media platforms and claim to have something, but if it's not provable anywhere, then is it true? Maybe it is, right? But with us, you don't have to have that question. It's trustless by design. Our code's open source once our audit's complete, so you can see everything in black and white. You see your bet confirm on chain. You see it interact with Chainlink's VRF. Everything is there for you to see. It's unquestionable, really. I'm sure, obviously, there will be questions, and that's why we do shows like this, and there's discussions to be had, and people will always have questions, because I think sometimes it maybe sounds too good to be true.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the exciting thing about having things on chain. That's when I got into crypto, and when I first, not necessarily got into crypto in terms of like a buyer or holder or just a bit of a degen, to be honest, but when I really started to understand the inner workings and how the blockchain actually works, this is what it's there for, in my opinion. I don't mean it's there for gambling, but I mean it's there for provability. Right?
This is the way. Fuck everything else.
Just hard shit in the casino. Yeah, this is what crypto was built for, guys. Well,
man, yeah, no, I mean a million use cases, but in terms of the casino, like that provable and on-chain verifiability is incredible, and it's, as you said, like then some other casinos just pull up the KYC or the TOS or they eat you in fees without you even noticing, like all this, like hidden stuff that you don't see normally, and then suddenly you're at zero or banned or so many cases, right?
Yeah, there seems to be like a hit piece every week, right? In terms of this casino's done this, or this gaming platform has done this, or I can't get my funds, the list goes on. But we really feel like, I don't mean like we're here to like take over and we expect by next week that everybody's using Vault and none of these other platforms, but we're really just there to educate and show people that there is another way.
Yeah.
And that is through a platform, whether it's ourselves or anyone that might come after us that operates, and copies the model. This is the way for gambling to go. If it's going to be, unquestionably trustless, this is how you have to operate and do it. It's just that simple. In my eyes, obviously, I'll be a little biased with that, but
just a bit. No, but I mean, you were a DJ and a user before, not a founder, so you see both perspectives, not only
I've been on the receiving end of it, and it's not nice when you're just directed to like a customer service form that you fill in, and does anyone ever read that? Are they ever going to get back to me? You have to open a ticket in their Telegram or their Discord, and nobody ever comes back to you because they know they fucked you, basically. So
they don't care.
And I never ever want to see that with Vault. It won't ever happen. It can't. But I mean, I don't even want to see that even being a possible option ever. And that's why I think when we go on to talk about sort of what's coming to the platform and in what direction that we're expanding into and different markets that we want to be involved in, you'll see why I talk about that now, because there's been a number of different times and discussions with providers, especially, that are really keen to get involved with us. Some real big names and players that want to come on board, but they won't operate on chain like we do, non-custodial, and we've had to turn down some big opportunities, really, unfortunately.
Well, connecting to that, I wanted to highlight more, even though we mentioned already, like the non-custodial part. I think, or maybe not everyone understands that part that well.
Sure. I guess general, it is a bit.
Casinos are like extremely degen, or I mean, they don't know what they're doing with their funds. So just, can you highlight a little more on the non-custodial?
So when I talk about non-custodial betting with us, what that essentially means is you don't have to click on a deposit button. Like you'll notice on our website, there is no button to deposit with us. We never hold user funds. It all interacts with smart contracts. So there's never a time where we could see, an X amount of stake placed and then we go, make that a losing bet, or don't let them withdraw that money. That's nothing. We'll never have custody of any user funds ever at Vault. So if you want to bet $100 on dice, You place your $100 bet, it wins. You have $200 or $198 or whatever your RTP is at the time, depending what your slider is, etc. Return straight back to your wallet. It's there. It's like the same transaction. It's all in one go. So yeah, you don't have to think, oh, you know, I've run this up a couple of grand now. Let me ask them for my money, and they tell me to fuck off. You're not having it. You've already got it. You've already sent it to the CEX
You're
to your bank or whatever you do with it.
You're screwed and you don't even know about it. And yeah, no, it's such a huge factor into building that trust and keeping that transparency. And as well for people, I mean, for DJs, but also for people that are not used to DJing or gambling that much. There's something for everyone. And as you've said a couple of times.
Yeah, I think, obviously, again, I think the bias coming in, but I do truly believe that this might be a gateway to people to try out something that they haven't done before. Maybe somebody's wanted, you know, we're not looking to turn people into gambling addicts by any means, but if someone wants to try out $5 bet, are they going to, this is like, I've used this a lot pitching actually when we've had like VC chats and things like that, but what is the differentiator between Vault or one of these other mainstream Web3 casinos? Well, they call themselves Web3, but they take crypto deposits. Anyway, what's the key differentiator? So like yourself, Blue, right? If you were going to gamble with a friend of yours, let's just say $10, right? You've got a $10 bill. You say to your friend, come on, let's bet on a coin flip. I'll take heads, you take tails. But then he turns around and says, well, yeah, but I'm not going to flip the coin in front of you. I'm going to turn around, hide it from you, and then tell you whether you won or lost. Or he says, oh, yeah, of course, let's flip it, right? And you get to call it in the air, you watch it in front of you, and you watch your bet win or lose. You're never, ever going to choose the option where he says, I'm going to turn my back and hide the result from you. You're going to choose the one where you can see it with your own eyes right in front of you. Of course, every time. No,
every time.
You would be ridiculous to choose the other option, right? And that's the offering that we're giving people.
It should be such a normal situation, but it's
that's the irony.
Yeah, that's the irony. Unfortunately,
that honestly is the irony, Blue. Like that's how this should have always been done. It's almost nonsensical that this hasn't been done to the truest extent that we're looking to do things, right? There's been attempts. There's been some big names who have tried to come in the space and do similar, but they're just not quite there. There's still elements of either they're on-chain, but they still take custody of your funds, or they're on-chain, but you still will require KYC, or they can freeze because they take deposits still. Or they are non-custodial and they're on-chain, but then they don't have the ecosystem to back it up that we're looking to offer. So we truly believe that this will be revolutionary. It will be the platform, you know, whether that's in a month, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, who knows? But these contracts will always be on-chain now. They'll always be linked to our bankroll. They'll always be liquid there. So this will be around, you know, forever, essentially.
Yeah, no, and there's cases as well, like the casino or the platform shuts down, or one of the team rogues, or there's an exploit. Like there's a million other reasons as well, like how they keep your funds. So non-custodial.
Yeah. There's always like that story about the rogue dev, and then everyone, was it really that guy? What happened? Like nobody knows. But with our operating model, it just can't happen. So that's I guess a benefit for me. I don't have to worry about anyone going rogue in that respect. But but also for users, you know, for you to know that when you deposit, even if it's a small amount of money with a casino, what they then do with your funds once it gets straight sent to their CEX, you have no idea what they're doing with your money. You have no idea that when you hit that 1.5 mil jackpot on 50,000x, are they going to pay me that money? Do they even have that money to pay me?
Yeah,
you'll never know.
That's one of the main things as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it does happen for sure. There are operators out there. I know enough people in the industry in the scene, but I know for a fact that they're taking bets that they can't afford to pay if they come in. So.
Yeah, I also want to. I'm sure people are very curious about the becoming the house side of things.
Yeah,
I'm sure everyone wanted to be the house in a casino at some point in their
well,
lives, did or not. But like, can you explain a bit more on that sense of like depositing into the liquidity and all that?
yeah, 100%, 100%. So if you're, someone that wants to be exposed to profit and loss with Vault, so essentially becoming the house in the simplest of terms, so you would be providing bankroll for people to play against. So if, for example, let's just throw small figures out there. Let's say there's $1 million in a bankroll. You are a listener of the show now, and you think, well, actually, I can go and I'll add another $1 million to that bankroll. So if there's 2 million in the bankroll, 1 mil of VC money, let's say, for example, 1 mil of listener to the show's money, you're now exposed to 50% of profit and loss of the house. So you've got a 50% share in the casino. If, for example, we make 100K today, you're going to make 50 grand. It's that simple. On the bankroll side of things, we also will have treasury staking, which is part of our fee model that obviously we can talk about as well. But yeah, effectively, public bankroll staking, just like providing LP, effectively. Like you can do with Uniswap, for example. You could look at it in that manner. If you want to add X amount, it could be, $500. But obviously, if there's then $1 million in the bankroll, you're going to be exposed to a very small percentage of the profit and loss of the house, but still exposed. So you're still going to make money or lose money if we have a losing day. Yeah, that's effectively what that would be.
What's the, like, if anyone will want to do that, could they do it today? What's the process?
No,
do they deposit in USD?
No, it's not currently available. So at the moment, bankroll is just funded by ourselves. That was just for proof of concept. Once our audit goes live from Certic, that's when the full ecosystem will come into play. Things like our token, things like staking, both for the bankroll and also for our treasury. I guess you could probably call it like a soft launch of us going onto mainnet right now. It's just so people can see how the games work, the look, the feel, how the contracts interact with Chainlink, etc. But once we have the full ecosystem in place, I guess that's what we've been calling it, like an ecosystem, effectively having all those different options. That's when people will be able to provide liquidity publicly with us, with maybe mid to late Jan, hopefully. Obviously, it's depending on a couple of different factors at the moment, but yeah.
Nice, good to know. Just for anyone that doesn't know, Certic, just to display on their website for a second, largest blockchain security auditor. They have so much proof of audits already. This is who Vault is working
serious big
right
boys
now, and like one of the biggest ones. So yeah, just for reference and for, again, just adding to that trust layer that I know people are skeptical in general about in Web3. And
100%. And people are right to, right? You know yourself, Plutago. If someone goes and links your project, are you just going to click on their website and connect your wallet and sign? No. It has to be done. Your audit needs to be done. It needs to be, watertight. And people need to be able to read and view it as well. It's very important. It's all well and good saying, oh, we're audited by, X company, Y company, whatever. But if they don't ever publish that or make it public and then is confirmed by the other company as well, has it ever happened? Again, it's just one of those things that unless it's there for you to see, people will always have doubt or they'll always have questions.
Yeah, no, and that is verifiable. That is this proof, like from several resources, like from several partners, from several people, that it's legit, that you can trust it. It's a huge factor to actually join in. But it's quite simple for people to actually join the platform and join Vault. You just need to connect your wallet. You just need to input your email. You can choose either, right?
No. So there's a couple of different options to play with us. So if you just want to play directly, from your wallet that you've got in a browser-based wallet, for example, you would literally just go connect and you can play straight away. There's no sign up. Don't need to provide an email or anything like that. Literally no information at all. You can play directly from your wallet. If you want to onboard through Privy, for example, so if you're more of a traditional finance guy, if you normally gamble on your Visa debit card, for example, you can connect via Privy. You will need to do a little bit of KYC then to buy crypto through MoonPay. But that KYC is nothing to do with us. That's just for your purchase of the crypto through MoonPay, right? That's no information that we receive, nothing like that. That's purely for you to buy crypto. But then, yeah, you can sign up with your email address that way, and you'll get a wallet that you can play with, and just interact with it just like anyone else would on the platform. However, you've come and maybe bought $100 off of your debit card, which allows you to then interact with a crypto or Web3 casino, crypto casino, whatever you want to coin the term, but playing with, traditional money, I guess, the traditional term for money.
Yeah, no, it's a big shout out to you guys for doing a very simple way to onboard new people. Web 2, Web 3, there's no friction. 60 seconds, max 5 minutes to actually log in, join, and then start playing, and
literally 10 seconds probably if you're using a hot wallet, maybe 2 minutes if you're going to buy crypto through Privy to play that way.
Yeah, and another big concern that people have in general is payouts. For if someone starts winning today, they join today, they start winning, could they withdraw already today, or is there a few days that they need to wait, or how is that instant settlement withdrawal payout process?
So in terms of settling their bets, is that what you're talking about? Sorry.
Yeah.
So because we, again, talking about the non-custodial side of things, in terms of you don't deposit with us, you don't request withdrawals with us, you literally just bet from your wallet, you'll get paid back to your wallet. After the stream, if anyone's interested, I can link you some TXs, example one, so you can see exactly how it works. Those of you that might be a little more crypto savvy especially can see on there. Essentially, your bet comes, interacts with the contract of whatever game you've chosen. So whether that be Plinko, whether that be rock, paper, scissors, dice, etc., your wallet sends money to that contract. That contract then interacts with Chainlink VRF to get a provably fair outcome. If you win, you'll see it come straight back to your wallet, all in the same TX. So it's pretty cool, to be fair.
I think I have it here. Was it the wait?
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look.
Was that the betting process mechanism that you were talking about?
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, that is a great infographic, to be fair.
There we go. Yeah, you were trying to explain it, and I did understood, but people are more visual as well. So
sure.
So
I guess obviously to talk you through that, let's say you bet $100. So we have a 2% fee model. So obviously $2 take from that $100. Go straight to our fee. It's a 50-50 split between our bankroll and our treasury, which obviously we can explain a little bit more about in a second. $98 will go to the game. Let's say you hit 100x, for example, then $9,800 go straight back to the user, and that's the full cycle. There is another little intricacy in there. So once our token is live, you'll have the play to earn system in place. So 1% of any volume that you bet with us. So let's say you bet $100, like in this example, you'll get $1 back in our token, alongside obviously your payout if you'll win, or nothing if you lose.
Or you're screwed up, right? No.
Or that. But let's hope you win, right?
Yeah, it's such a.
I think that's.
Sorry.
Go on. Sorry.
No, it's such a straightforward mechanism, but
it almost seems too simple, right? And
exactly. Why are people not doing this as well? Like other companies, just.
Yeah, for sure. It's I've had this conversation multiple times with different hedges, VCs, different interested parties, KOLs, and when I explain it to them, they're like, "But this is what gambling is, right?" I'm like, "No, this is not what gambling is like at all. It couldn't be further from what gambling is like," and nobody can seem to understand why, because surely it should have always been like this.
Clearly. Man, it's wild. You also have a bunch of running campaigns right now. You have
right
you have
now.
Seed,
so...
you have Tonso, you have Sealy up to TGE, which I really want to ask about that as well. How has been the experience? Obviously the high quality content gets rewarded the most. You have almost 10K in Telegram. How has been the whole experience? And
so Tonso, I'm pretty close with the team themselves, just from previous ventures and stuff, and they're pretty much brand new to the InfoFi space. So I'll give you guys a bit of a shield here. Hope you appreciate it, boys. They are essentially trying to do what you guys will be familiar with, like Kaito and Wallchain from the X or Twitter side of things. They're trying to bring that to Telegram, basically. So if you have a Telegram channel, like rather than a chat, so if you've got a channel, any of you guys listening out there, you should definitely get involved because the rewards are great. There's a few different campaigns on Tonso right now, but you know, we've got 300k worth of rewards on there, right? So 0.5% of Vault will be launching at probably a 60 mil FTV, we believe at the moment, at a minimum. So when I say probably, it's not, the rewards are never going to come down. They'll just go up, if anything. So yeah, there's $300,000 worth of Vault tokens. They're available for yappers, basically, people that are talking about Vault, bringing users, bringing on-chain revenue, bringing people to our Twitter, Telegram, you name it. There's a way you can get involved and be rewarded through Tonso, yeah. Then, yeah, like you say, Zeely, we pledged 200,000 in tokens to them for our campaign that will run all the way up to TGE. We won't freeze that. Users can, at any point, go and earn XP through our campaign. So, yeah.
Is TGE happening in Q1? Is the main question?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Nice. Yeah, for sure. I'd love to come and do like a big announcement on here and tell you exactly when that would be, but unfortunately, I just don't have that date. Give you the exclusive scoop, but it'll be in Q1 100%.
Vesting, Cliff, anything like that, or details announced?
So yeah, with the rewards through Tonso, I'll have to double check, but off the top of my head, I think 25% at TGE, and then the remainder will be linear vesting. I want to say for 6 months. Off the top of my head, I honestly don't know. Yeah. But if you go onto the campaign, any of you guys that are out there listening, it will have all the information on there.
Yeah. Nice, man. Super exciting. Yeah, Q1 is going to be huge in so many ways. But
yeah, for sure.
It's going to be so exciting. It was a bit of a not depressing, but like an unexpected Q4 for many people. Like many TGEs and many ICOs were supposed to launch, and everyone expected to go back above 100k in Bitcoin, and metals took over and silver just wrapping up like fucking crazy.
Yeah, silver just flown up past the video, right?
So it's been a wild time. I mean, never a boring day in crypto. Or
I've felt the pain for sure. So I'm still very much into holding different cryptos, and I've felt the pain of Q4. So hopefully with Vault, we could bring a little joy to that space. I think it's hard for a lot of projects right now in terms of just simply the market conditions, as well as like outside factors. Like there's so many political influences now over the market, which is insane and almost sad in my opinion. But there are real big influential people that do, have a big effect on the market. So hopefully it can be, that shining light that everyone's looking for in the space, and we can all make some good money.
Yeah, people keep saying that it's getting more and more manipulated. I mean, we've seen the pump and dumps lately with the 87 to 90k, then back to 88k within the same day or 2 days. Like it's getting exhausting, especially for traders. Like they just get liquidated every other day. But
finance stuff was scary, right? A couple of months back with that dump. It's a difficult space to be in. But those of you that do stick through like the trenches, I guess you can call it right now. We're not quite in the trenches, but we've been close. It will work out in the end. I think
we'll get better.
Yeah.
Better days ahead for sure. Just a quick question as well, because you were saying about the Tonso rewards and the other campaigns. Is that separate to the 7.5 for the future round?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I suppose we could talk a little bit about our tokenomics really. So this that we're looking at right now was our initial private round. So we priced 20 mil FTV. So for anyone that was early, to give them the opportunity to come in and provide funds for a number of different things, like the audit, like marketing, as well as obviously bankroll provisions and things like that, development costs, just weekly costs really in terms of running a project from scratch. So Yeah, 20mm FTV. We had a 10% total offering. It wasn't all available for the initial private round. We offered up the 2.5% and sold it in full. So we took 500K into the project. When I say we took, I haven't fucked off with any of your money, guys, don't worry. But we took it into the project. Yeah, it's sitting, we've got a 7.5% left. What we do with that is still up for debate. We've toyed with the idea of running an ICO with people like Legion, for example. I got some very good friends over at Selenium that would do like a very much smaller community sale, probably between 50 and 100K of the tokens, something like that. But yeah, if we were going to run a big ICO, it would probably be through Legion. And then some more of these, obviously 7.5% of the supply can essentially be up for sale.
Be up for grabs, man. So many. I want to highlight again, like there's so many ways for people to get involved with the campaigns, with the competitions that I'm just gonna display here now and ask about real quick. Obviously playing and gambling and betting directly on the website, which is the main one. But there's something for everyone. You guys are really expanded to every sector of gambling.
Well, this is a good one right here. So if you're running, dice on like 98, 99% RTP, you can literally just farm experience at the moment. Experience, I don't want to put any libelous statement on it, but it's very likely that XP will result in an airdrop, essentially, at PGE. So I, for legal reasons, I can't say that for 100%, but we all know that when you're earning and interacting with platforms pre-TGE, that any experience that you get on there will result in some sort of reward. It's looking very likely that it'll be an airdrop, yeah. So, and there's 20 grand up for grabs as well on top of that. So yeah, just literally playing this week, you qualify. So I think we're going with top 10 users of, oh yeah, there's literally there in the tweet. So yeah, top 10 users by wagered volume will be rewarded. I think top prizes, maybe 2.5K. No, it might be 5K in the 20K actually. But again, the full details are on the Medium post. And then obviously it just staggers down, kind of like a poker payout, right? If you play a poker tournament, it's very top heavy and then starts to stagger down a bit. Obviously, we're going to reward the biggest users on the platform.
I wanted to ask about that. I know there's people that don't have maybe the biggest bags or the biggest funds to get to the top 10. Is there any raffle or any luck factor or like a little piece of the pie for
yeah, for sure.
Besides the XP, obviously, but for
I think. Yeah, that's the element. So it will be purely, this particular competition is purely based on wagered volume.
Yep.
But there's no reason that someone with a smaller bag couldn't get in there because of the RTP, right? Effectively, you could play $100 for hours as long as you're, doing it on odds that favor you more than, us. So if you're doing real low multipliers, for example, on dice, the likelihood is you're not going to lose very often. And even if you do, if you're just betting $5 over and over again, like you can multi-bet with us up to 100 times. So let's say you depoted, well, you wouldn't even need to depot, sorry. Let's say you had $100 in your wallet that you deposited off your card, maybe through Privy, or just had in your hot wallet anyway. You could run like $1 dice spins 100 times. You've got $100 of volume there instantly. If you're running that on like a 1.04x multiplier, your chances of losing like maybe 5 times in that 100 spins. So you've already generated $100 of volume for yourself. And worst case, you're probably going to be down $5. Likelihood is you probably won't lose in that sort of 100 spins when you're playing on that low multiplier. So there's loads of different ways that people can farm and get involved. And pre-TG is definitely the way to do it. Because it's triple XP right now, so every dollar that you're betting with us at the moment is worth $3 basically. So in experience rewards, it's huge right now. Triple XP.
Are people still early? But it's always am I too late? Am I early? Is this
no? Yeah, we're all still like, this project is still massively early, although it's been in development for beyond a year now. the full ecosystem is not live. Our token's not out. You know, our staking platform for our treasury's not out. Bankroll staking's not out. We still got a full catalog of casino games to come. We're still in very early stages of this project. Nobody has, you know, an allocation. No one's got a fat bag that they're going to dump on you at TGE. All of our deals with all of our KOLs, and you can go out and ask anybody that's talking about us on social media. Nobody has an unlocked bag at TGE in terms of deals that we've made for allocations and things like that. It's just simply not how we're going to operate. Sadly, we've had to turn down deals and partnerships for people that don't want that. Even in our initial private round, offers that we had coming in for VCs, they obviously just want to take their 10% of TGE and fuck off and dump on everyone. But unfortunately, we've turned those deals down. We want long-term alignment with us, whether that's through investors, whether that's through users, whether that's through stakers. We want long-term alignment because that's the ethos of this. It's not a quick, you know, smash and grab and fuck off in 2 months' time. This is to try and change the whole gambling space. So, yeah, that would be my message to anyone that does want to get involved, whether that's as a player or as a farmer, as an investor, whatever that may be. That we're here to stay. So, yeah, it's exciting times, and you're definitely still alpha on this.
The future of gambling, god damn it. Man, I'm ready to run through a fucking brick wall with you, George. Let's fucking go. No, I'm so glad you're doing this, man. It feels very refreshing. It feels different. It feels unique, but also trying to reward the users instead of just the actual team, like majority of people out there do, and the casinos, the house. And again, they have the opportunity to become the house. If you can beat them, join them, right?
Yeah, so I think perhaps we should just, if you don't mind, I'll touch upon sort of the other aspect to becoming the house too, right? So it might scare people that if someone wins big, then their payout's big. But if you don't want to expose yourself to casino profit and loss, what you can do, or you will be able to, I should say, is stake our native token with us in our treasury. So I don't know if you guys, perhaps some of you joined a little later, but some of you that were in the show earlier on, we had a look at our infographic whereby we showed how a model works, our 2% fee, 1% splits to the treasury, 1% backs up the bankroll. But that 1% fee that goes to the treasury, that's from every bet on the platform ever. So every piece of volume that ever comes to us, whether it's a $1 million bet or a $1 bet, 1% of that will go to our treasury. That's where users can stake for rewards with us in our treasury. So there'll be like monthly epochs with that for different reasons. But yeah, that's exciting. So people can essentially buy a bag of Vault when the token's live and not just worry about, oh, it's down 1 cent or it's up 5 cents, but from day one, from TGE, it will be stakeable. You can earn rewards on it straight away. So as long as volume is coming through the platform, which it obviously will be, you'll be earning on that token instantaneously, not just worrying about, price fluctuations and, BTC's down, so this is going to drop. Its use case is fantastic. There was no point just making a casino token and force everyone to bet with your token. It's nonsensical. So Vault by design has got something for everyone. That's how I would put it for sure.
If you could, if we could put it, I don't know, certain type of people into buckets and we can keep it TLDR, like let's say, because maybe people might not be connecting the dots on what could be the best way to get involved. Like, I don't know, like someone that is 9 to 5 might not try the InfoFi campaigns because those take more time, but they have money, so they can stake. Like, what could be like based on range on funds and time, which would it be? Could be best?
I think if using the example that you've got there, if you've got a 9 to 5 and family, etc., to feed, my advice would be to perhaps not expose yourself to the riskier side of things in terms of staking the house liquidity and being exposed to the bankroll. But if you want a safer option, then stake the treasury, right? Like it doesn't matter if people are winning or losing. All that matters is that volume is coming to the platform when you're making money. So you're never worried about some big whale coming out and wiping the bankroll. in fact, that's what you kind of want them to come and bet huge amounts of money, because 1% of that is going to your staking rewards, right? So,
Yep.
yeah.
No, that's good. That's a great example. And I mean, there's going to be quite a few clips that we're going to be showing after this, so people can connect the dots and help themselves as well. Two last questions before we start wrapping up.
Of course.
The last, I mean, there's not that much. I mean, you have big plans, obviously, but on the website, and I've seen it from you guys, but like for the future, the roadmap. I don't want to say things that I'm not supposed to leak, but
yeah, sure. I can. I'll speak to that. Yes. Yeah,
okay, cool. So because I saw a bunch of exciting things, but like I don't want to say something that I wasn't supposed to.
The plan is obviously launch full eco and TGE, etc. Q1. Alongside that, I'm really hopeful that our SDK is available, and what that will be is just our software development kit, where someone like yourself can have Tiger Slot, for example. You can have your own game on our platform. Obviously, we'll have a lot of creative oversight on the code side of things, just for security reasons, but be fully customizable. You can have all of your own icons on there, your own symbols, you can decide whether it's a 3-line slot, a 5-line slot, 7, whatever it may be. You can decide whether it's got a bonus, what multiplier it can go up to. The RTP will effectively be the same, if not very similar to our house slots, just because of obviously the model with our fee, etc. We can't just let people decide that all of a sudden they want a 200% RTP on their slot and just rinse the bankroll. But yeah, the SDK is super exciting. Not only could you become part of the house in terms of staking with us, but you can also actually concrete yourself on the platform for life and earn lifetime fees from a slot, for example, which is super exciting. We're hoping that will be finished development for launch with the rest of the ecosystem, and then following that we're looking to move into sports, which is super exciting but super complex too. So to keep things non-custodial whilst also having them on chain, there's like solutions that we're exploring with both Chainlink right now, and a number of other ones that I won't mention just due to competitiveness of some of these guys. But yeah, we're looking for a solution basically where if you want to bet on a Premier League soccer game, if you want to bet on an NFL game, NBA, NHL, you name it, how can we then have a data feed or stream that confirms that result on chain, whilst like not just simply Manchester City beat Real Madrid 1-0 or but the more complex stuff like number of shots on target, running yards in the NFL, things like that. So it's quite a complex solution, but we will have one, and I'm sure that should probably be Q2 to Q3 that we'll be able to expand there. Obviously, prediction market is something that's very simple to implement, but my main focus right now is around obviously launching the full eco, and then moving into our SDK and letting people build their own games on our platform. I'm super excited for that. I want people to be able to earn money. It's not just about greasing my pockets. There's loads of ways people can get involved in terms of staking with us, whether it's having your own slot, whether it's simply being a farmer on the platform. If you're playing, say for example, how do we break this down very, very briefly? If you've staked money with us, and then you're also gambling with us on the really high RTP, so you're earning back your own fees, for example, through the staking program, but you're also then earning 1% in play to earn. There are some methods, and people can explore it, that it's basically 100% RTP with us. So I'll let you guys explore and find that out yourselves. But yeah, there are methods and ways, and I'm sure people will be loading up their AIs now to work it out. But yeah, there are ways where you could effectively not lose money with us and just farm tokens. Yeah.
That's wild, man. I don't think people will. I hope people actually connect the dots and click on that sense. But
yeah, they will for sure. We've had that. A couple of people have come and brought it to my attention previously, as if it's like a glitch or a bug, but no, it's by design. The platform isn't greedy. If I wanted to greed, I would have just got a $10 million marketing budget and just made a copy paste of one of these casinos.
Yeah, you really want to reward users, and yeah, you really care about the
100%.
community you guys are building. So that's incredible.
Well,
Yeah,
that's that's the basis of any successful project, is your community, and we're working very hard to make sure that we're available, really accessible. I mean, there are probably guys in here now that have DM'd me on Telegram, Twitter, and had responses pretty quickly too. I feel like I'm permanently online at the moment, about 16 hours a day. So yeah, I'm easily reachable.
I was extremely surprised when you were replying last night. Like, it was my evening, and you're
Yeah,
like,
it's like
"Do you ever
5 a.m.
sleep?
for
Like,
me,
what
I
the
think.
fuck
Yeah.
are you doing? This
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
vampire.
Well, I was
Or
just excited for
or
today,
Spike,
right?
or-
So
yeah, 7. So
yeah.
excited. Yeah, no, and so excited for the SDK as well, and like building together, growing together with other members of the community, and getting creative into maybe types of games that you were not seeing yet, or like a combination
Exactly,
of
yeah.
game. Like, it could
There's
get very
definitely
interesting.
we want Vault originals that have not been seen anywhere else.
Be wild.
And yeah, we've got a very creative design team at the moment working on those ideas. Some of them are in development already, some are just ideas. But yeah, we want some Vault originals that people can be excited that they can only play them here because we're the only ones with it. So, and it's brand new. I'm really keen to be groundbreaking and have new, like not just a copy paste of something they've seen somewhere else, or some new sound overlay. I want it to be really fresh and exciting for people.
Yeah, and just I wanted to highlight as well real quick, and that you mentioned the sport betting is quite complex. It's so easy for people from the outside to say, like, why don't you have it? But like, they don't understand the whole process and the background. And
I guess
it's insane.
The simple answer to that is we could have it right now, but it wouldn't be verifiable on chain, and that's not what our ethos is. That's the whole project. So having a sportsbook is easy. You can pay a provider to do the whole sportsbook for you. I could have it up tonight, but it wouldn't be in Vault.
The way that
it wouldn't be on chain. It wouldn't be non-custodial. All these things that I will not bend on in terms of our ethics. Yeah.
No, the respect, man, and not just the sport betting. I think I know that everything you guys are building, it's incredible. And again, just highlight to everything. And people really people really appreciate it, because they just think like it just happened overnight, but there's a whole process and so many challenges, long milestones. So many ups and downs, and like the whole journey.
So many unsung heroes in the background. Like, I mean, I'm just a face coming on and doing an interview, but some of the guys that, the backroom staff, so to speak, are phenomenal people. Been with us since the start. It's been a really both enjoyable project to be a part of, stressful for sure, many sleepless nights, but it feels like, although we're still super early, it's still alpha, it feels like we're almost there. It's like, it feels like we're on the cusp of it now. So it's getting to that point where it's really getting exciting. So,
everything that is meaningful is it takes time, and it's a lot of effort, and ups and downs. And shout out to the ones behind the scenes and the team
for sure, boys. I hope you're listening, and girls actually, Anna too.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Connected as well to that, and just the last question as well, for anyone that might be thinking of building something huge and like with a big vision but feels overwhelming, what will be your best advice for them to start to break it down?
My best advice for anybody that wants to do their own business, whether it be in the Web3 space or otherwise, would be to always find someone smarter than yourself to do the tasks that you can't. Try not to stretch yourself. It's all about having the right people around you. Like I can't write, and I know code to a certain extent, but I couldn't have built these games myself. So I've had to bring the right people around me. And I think that's the most important thing, to have good people around you, and hopefully they're smarter than you too, because that's how you do a successful thing.
Yeah, like a lot of founders have the vision, but then there's only 24 hours in the day. Like, they need the right people to execute in every aspect of the business. So I think that's one of the best advice.
And my second piece, just quickly, would be to just put yourself in, if it's an employee, if it's a business partner, just put yourself in their shoes. treat them how you'd want to be treated, and I think you'll have a good team ethos from the start. And that's the great or the correct foundations to have, for sure.
Goosebumps. Yeah, no, the businesses that prioritize on their people first are the ones that succeed at the end.
We've seen that with these $1 trillion, some of these companies now that are pushing the $1 trillion valuation mark, they're always pretty good to their employees. Shout out Bezos though, fuck you, bro. But he's one of the exceptions. But actually, I'm only joking, Jeff. Please don't send any hitmen after me. But yeah,
just kidding.
Yeah.
Love it, George. Any last words before we closed? I think we covered everything.
Please come and try the platform. Whether you wait till we're live and you want to, stake or invest or whatever that may be, please come and try it out. The testnet's still up, so if you just want to try out and see how they work, you can go and play for free. You don't have to invest or pay real money. And please join our socials. If you've got any questions, our Telegram's open. My DMs are open. Leo, Ryan, Jojo, all the teams in there. Anna, we're all really approachable. If you've got any question, however small, silly you may think it is, please do ask, and we'll get you an answer.
The sillier, the better, actually. So yes, please shoot those out.
Yeah. It's great.
We love those.
Good content, right?
Yeah, exactly as well. And for everyone that doesn't know, deep dive on the white paper. It's only 147 pages. They are building something insane. I think we will need like 4 hours or more to go through everything. I think we covered the most important things.
It'd be great to come back anyway. So
yeah, definitely.
For those guys that are perhaps interested in more technical sort of side of things and go deeper, I could probably bring maybe one of our more sociable devs on, and they can break it really down for any like technical analysis that people might have or questions and how things work. And yeah, everything is completely out there. There's no special sauce in the background. There's no secrets. So we're happy to answer anything.
That could be a very interesting stream, actually. But yeah, as you said, like one DM away, or terminally online 24/7.
That's my wife dismay, and she's probably in the other room now, listening and shaking her head, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's Christmas still. Get the fuck out of there. No, George, it's been a pleasure, man. So glad that we got to do this. There's so much to be excited ahead of. From here, and for people to get involved, so many ways to benefit, to build together, to grow together. So check out Bolt and definitely get enjoyed and start playing, start getting in.
Yeah, pleasure. Thanks for having me. Really enjoyed it, guys. Hopefully I haven't bored you too much, listeners and watchers. So yeah, pleasure.
Thank you so much, George. To everyone, happy holidays. Have a happy new year. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, see you soon, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.